Hello, welcome to Quilting with Cyndi. Quilting by Cyndi. I'm just gonna have to look at my thing. I don't know. I apologize. Anyways, I'm going to talk about the handkerchief quilt that I am going to be working on in conjunction with everything else that I'm doing this Christmas holiday. It's just weird. Okay, so I talked about this before. I think we had it laid out on the bed. I was sort of showing what you could do with it. It's already been ironed, which is why they look so nice. And I went in and laid out some patterns. I'm still waffling because I have some smaller ones that I kind of want to include, but I'm doing 3 across and I only have 2. And the other colors are like neon pink, neon green, and neon yellow, which kind of clashes with the aesthetic of this one, which is, as you can see, are like turquoise, pale blue. While we do have a neon green, it's not like in your face. And then we have like a mint green and a dark blue, which is going to go, oh, my hair, on the back or the front. It'll be the back or the inside. This is my handkerchief / kimono quilt that I'm designing because I like to complicate my life. So this is the other fabric, this gorgeous soft stuff that you just want to snuggle on. So most of the colors look good. The green actually doesn't clash a lot. So I need to see, I gotta go hit Joann's or Walmart or something and hunt and see if, or maybe a clothing store, to see like the old school, maybe the thrift store, they might have some, to see if I can find one that's smaller versus cutting it down, because as you can see, the pattern tends to end several inches from the edge, and I don't want to get a big one and cut it down. I don't think it would look as good because you would literally then be right up to the design. So I'll have to see what I can come up with if I find something that fits. If not, I won't include it, but I thought it would be cool to have like the little shorter one in the middle. Or I guess I could put a patch of, worst case, I might just use a blob of this dead center in the middle with all these around it. We'll see. But anyways, so I wanted to show you this one because I sort of alluded to this when I made Chris's quilt, the red quilt that I did for the very first time, that you can use. So like what I moved it. I was going to show you the other one. So, but like here, the quilts I tend to do, I do the front, I do the back. I sew them together. For the rag quilt and for this one, you're doing a block. Hi, Moose. You are such a attention hog. You like to be in the camera. Hi. Can I have a kiss? Thank you. Okay. Go away. Shoot, 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 shoot. So what I decided to do on this one, because I found this is so much simpler to do it this way. And this just lucks out because it's a solid piece. I don't have to do extra work. So this will be a fast one for me because the back will be intact. I might have to piece it together to make it long or wide enough. But this will be an entire block. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'll just sew them and join them together. So what I can do is you get your fluff. So I do have some. You can buy it in different forms. You can get I don't think I have any of the, oh yeah, I do. You can get, this is a giant bag. This was just the loose fluff. So this sort of stuff you can use for pillows or whatever. It's not made to lay flat. This, and what I tend to get, is the stuff that's flat, and there's different thicknesses. So it's like, I think they say low, medium, and thick. I think is I was going to say the settings, but the description when you look on the packages. So these are medium. So you can see here the thickness of it. Depending, like if you're in the cold area and cold part of the world, A thicker one might be what you want, just so that you know, it's just warmer at night. If it's more for a throw on the couch, you could go with a low one, the thinnest, because really it's just something, you know, maybe to keep your feet toasty at night or something while you're watching TV or whatever. So, this one, actually, I was using on something else. So, but normally, so in this case, you see, it's really, this one is just, I won't be able to use. It's too narrow. I could, but then I would need to maybe cut another little strip and tack it on, which you can do. So like when I was doing my other quilt, I think I made 8-inch squares. Inevitably, they were slightly off or whatever. It's, you know, accidents happen. You know, because I don't measure it necessarily on the spot. And exactly, I made one and then I used it as a template and just did the rest. But I could do it this way. It's just at the edges, and it might not be a big deal. This actually might be okay because you're going to lose maybe like that much for your seam when you sew the two together. So there's still, but to me, there's still, you know, an inch or two on either side that you're going to have boring flatness and a fluffy. So, but what I do, and what I did for the other one is I made each of the blocks ahead of time. In this case, I don't have to do that. So that part is done, boom. They're all pretty and done unless I decide to do that extra layer. Now what I can do is cut out corresponding pieces for the back as well as the fluff. And then what you end up doing is you will, I'll just use this as a mock-up. You will go basically figure out your pattern. So like I was showing you before, it laid on the bed. Figure out, do I want, you know, how you want to arrange it. And then you just, you know, have your 3 piles. Here's your pile of your top, here's your fluff, here's your pile for the back. And in the one I did for Chris, the front and back were completely different. They're all different squares, different colors. Anal, I showed you my book. I don't even know where it is. I think it's in my bedroom still. Where I have it mapped out to make sure that the front and back colors were not the same if I could help it. Not that you would ever notice, but you know, that's just me being crazy. But in this case, all I'll have to do is cut these into the same size and just piece them together. So literally you would just grab one from that pile, one from this pile, one from the back pile, but we'll use this one as an example. And you would just make your 3-pack, so to speak. And then you can go through and sew each one. Once you're done, I now have a block completely done front and back. Boom. Go through, do all 3, piece them together, then you can lay it out again just to make sure, you know, does it look right? Did you not mess up and took the colors in the wrong order, which I did a lot on Chris's quilt. Several times I had the order backwards and I was just like, oh no, and I had to rearrange. Or not. Thankfully the back pattern was like square outline, so I could just rearrange it into a different spot looking at my neurotic little layout. But in this case, once we do this, then it'll just be a matter of piecing these all together. There will be a seam, so when we sew it together, obviously there's going to be this, which is fine. And I could turn it into a rag quilt. I won't. I don't think I will. I'll just leave it alone. Just because with a fluff, I don't want to, it is anti-pill, so really good fluff. It doesn't get all the little things when you wash it. You don't have to get that kind. I just actually saw this fabric and fell in love with it, so which is why I'm using it for somebody else's quilt. Who is a surprise? She doesn't know. Shh, don't tell her. If I mentioned her name before, I'm not going to mention it again. So in case she happens to watch, I don't want her to know that it's for her. But I am doing it into the kimono. So once I get these all cut out, next time I'll have all the fluff cut out. I'll have this cut out. I'll go ahead and do the bulk of the sewing so you guys don't suffer through it. But I'll leave one left so you can see the process. And then if I do the smaller one, maybe I'll use those as the process to show you what needs to be done or not done. because then it'll almost be a complete quilt by the time you see it next time, and then we should just have a couple things, and you'll get to see me finish one on camera live. Woohoo! Exciting, I know. You're snoozing, that's okay. I won't make it personally. But, so now my next steps for this one is basically to now figure out how long these are, and where did my Moose, oh no, there it is. I thought Moose stole it, but he didn't. And I'm sitting on it, there we go. So now I just got to confirm, and this is what you do. So you measure, so it's 22, should be square by 22. So now I know when I'm cutting this, I'll probably do like 21 by 21. Because usually you have like a half, I almost said ounce, a half inch seam allowance on both sides. So the whole thing will come in, but you'll still have a half an inch before you get to the actual pattern on it. So that way it'll be consistent around the board. And that's something I've shown you before on the computer, on the computer, jeez. I've been working way too hard. On my sewing machine, the little lines will show you, I'll bring it up so you can see. Yeah. There are little lines here, already shows you like this is a 1/4 of an inch, half inch, you know, this is an inch. So I tend to just sew it so it's right against this side, which is about a 1/4 of an inch, so I don't have to think about it. It wavers sometimes, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent. And that's only because I go fast, zip, and then it goes. So next time, you'll get to see all this done and ready to go. And then we will go back to Kaylin and Anna's quilt in the chest behind me. I found some new fabrics that I'm going to use on it. Mainly because I really want to keep that fancy fabric, and I'm going to feel guilty if I do. So, but I did find some other ones, which were really pretty. I don't know if I showed them to you last time. So there's this one which is super soft. I don't know if I can use it for anything, but I might. And then these two. So like I said before, she has like old-timey furniture and stuff. I think I showed you the chair, which you probably can't see, it's under all the blankets. Has the same sort of feel to it, so I sort of was leveraging this to pick my color palette for their stuff. But they're coming into town for the holidays, so I have to get it done before the holidays. So you will see a big spurt of energy on these. I've taken days off for vacation that I get, so I will be doing a lot of quilting. And my friend will be coming over and visiting, and me filling her up with Diet Pepsi so that she will, as a bribe, to videotape it for me. So, thank you again. I hope you're having had a wonderful Halloween, and almost said Merry Christmas. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.